everybody, this is a blog update for August 2023. It'll be brief because we were gone a lot in July. I'm going to start out just by jumping right into the website. Not a lot happened in July, to be honest. Page views are about the same. They're stable. They're right around 200 a month. One thing that is good that has happened is the frustrations I've had with indexing have kind of stopped. Google has more or less left the site alone. All the pages are indexed. They're staying that way. When you look at the graph of number of pages that are indexed, it's nice and flat. And the good thing about that is we've seen a really exponential uptick in impressions, which again doesn't amount to much if no one's actually following the links, which they're not right now. So we got some work to do in that area in terms of getting folks from just seeing our webpage and search results and actually clicking on it. So, but the good news is it's trending up, and that really started in earnest, I would say, about 2 weeks ago. We were, impression-wise, we were only getting, I don't know, a few hundred a month, and now we're getting anywhere from 40 to 90 a day. It's trending upward too, so I hope it'll continue. And I don't really know what to attribute it to exactly. I think it has most to do with our concentration on topics. So a lot of you, if you've been keeping up with posts, we've done a lot of Roth IRA, Roth 401k, just Roth account in general. Anything having to do with the Roth, we've done a lot of posts about that. I think I've done 14 or 15 in the last couple months. So, and the reason we did that was to focus really specifically on a target. And what we were trying to teach the algorithm is that we're a website that is really focused on Roth stuff. So if anybody searches on Roth stuff, we're a site they can rely on, they can go to, because we got a lot of information about it. We've posted about it a lot. We've thoroughly covered the topic. We've answered a lot of questions that are directly asked to search engines about it. And I think that's why we've seen it kind of, I guess, improve in terms of search results. Because if you look at the pages that are showing up in search results, obviously it doesn't list every page on our site. If someone searches for a topic, it lists the page that actually addresses their question. About half of the top results are all related to our Roth post. So that appears to be what caused it. It could also have something to do with the Series 65. I told y'all last month. I passed that right at the beginning of July, actually. I added that to my bio. The purpose of that primarily was to establish a bit of expertise, authoritativeness in the finance world, because as y'all know from previous videos, it's really competitive. There's a lot of people out there. Not a lot of them, or at least a portion of them, a small portion, are actually professionals in the industry. Obviously, if you make your primary income from giving financial advice to clients, you have less time for building a website. Well, people who have time to build a website aren't necessarily licensed to do that. So I got a license. Well, I don't have a license. I passed the test. Now I can go get a license if I want. But the purpose was to just establish credibility, if you will. Just to show, hey, we know what we're talking about. We've been tested on this, if you will. We've studied up. We actually are trustworthy in the information we're sharing. And hopefully that'll help with results. I don't know. It could have impacted it. I have a hard time believing that adding that information to the site, being a Series 65, I don't know, I guess advisory, if you will, if the algorithm would have picked that up that quickly. I don't think that would be the case, but it's possible. Another possibility is that the site has just been up for 11 months now. And I've talked about the sandbox rule. It's sort of it's a myth, maybe. It may be legit, I don't know. But it's certainly reasonable to assume that Google has a period of time after a website's created where they're just not going to list your results in their search or list your site in their search results because you're just new. They don't know you. Is this a site that's going to continue to grow? Was it something that was generated by artificial intelligence that's pretty worthless? Even worse, is it something that is trying to con people or manipulate folks? And so there's just think about it. If you ran a search engine, it's reasonable to ask people to wait a while before they show up in search results. And I think that's part of it too. 11 months we've been consistently posting. We've shown that we're, intentional about this. We're going to keep doing it. And hopefully that's helped as well. All right, so item number 2 is YouTube. Confession, I didn't do really any YouTube last month. Last week of June, the first week of July, I was completely studying for the Series 65 exam. I started that in April, but I was kind of juggling that along with other things, reading through books, and I really kind of poured into it full time for 2 weeks there at the end of June and beginning of July. So wasn't really doing any blog stuff at all during that period. Right after that, about a week later, we left for Colorado. My son did a project with his school where they built a rocket payload and got to launch. It was really cool, but we spent a weekend in Colorado doing that. Came back to Birmingham. 48 hours later, we turned around and went to Alaska for about 2 weeks and just got back on July 31st. So I'm not apologizing. I had a great time, but didn't get any blog work done. And so YouTube, I could have edited. I did actually try riding on a plane, but I have long femurs. It's very tight in an airplane seat for me. My computer is a 15-inch laptop. It's too big. And, I was trying to write with the keyboard vertical and the screen in my lap, and it was hurting my neck, and I forget it. You just can't edit video and write things like that. So I did very little while I was traveling, and that's fine. That's part of doing this as, I guess, a hobby, if you will. It just kind of comes whenever I have time to do it, and I didn't have time in July. So that's where we're at with YouTube. So far, I've got 8 videos completed still. I think that's the same number I told you last month. It should have been because I haven't done anything in July. I've got 10 videos recorded. I'm about to record another one here in a second on compounding interest, and we'll be editing it soon. But I'm trying to get to 30 videos by September 1st. Doing the math in my head, that's a little over 5 videos a week recorded and edited in 4 weeks, and that's not going to happen. I mean, it's just not. I know to do quality, it's just not going to happen. But I'm doing my best. When we do start posting, I think what you're going to see is a lot of the central topics like Roths, and I think financial independence is the other topic that we're really going to focus on. So I have 2 topics. We'll produce about 15 videos each for those 2 topics, and that'll be kind of how we launch the site. We'll start kind of hot and heavy, or launch the videos. We'll start hot and heavy with about 3 in one day, then go down to 2 the next day, and the third day we'll do one each day for about a week. And then for the next 3 weeks, we'll release about 3 per week. And then at the end of that month, we'll start doing them once a week. And so I want a big, honking backlog so I can make it through that first month without killing myself. And then also just kind of get into a rhythm where I can load these once a week, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And I still believe YouTube is going to be really a key way to grow the site, get us in some other places. I think it improves the quality of the site when you have a video linked to a post that's yours, and vice versa when you have a video on YouTube that you can link back to your site. It just generates, a higher degree of credibility in it, interest in it. People are more likely to view it or watch it or click it. And YouTube, Google, they're more likely to actually recommend it, from what I understand. We'll see, but that's generally what happens. The last thing is the Series 65. I know you might wonder, why did I take that exam? The exam is intended for people who plan to charge a fee for financial advice. So anyone out there who does any kind of financial advice, be it financial planners, be it financial analysts, advisors, where they're charging a fee to someone else, has to pass the Series 65 or a combination of other FINRA and NASA tests that are equivalent to that. I don't really have any intention at this moment of doing any of that. I may continue and get set up a registered investment advisory firm just because I have 2 years to do that, or be employed somewhere else, which I'm not going to do because I'm not leaving the job I have now. I have 2 years to set that up, or the test is kind of null and void. I have to take it again to reestablish that. And it seems easier to me just to go ahead and set up a business, spend a few bucks to get the license, just have it in place and not actually operate a true business out of that. But I would represent myself as an advisor on videos, which would be true because I'd be licensed. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I just don't. To actually set up a business where you're giving advice to people, there's insurance, there's legal things, there's so much overhead. It just doesn't make sense to do that while I'm still working at the utility I work at in supply chain management, which is really the job and career that I want to foster anyway. I'm really enjoying doing this, but there's only so far I can take this and have a normal job. So that's the Series 65. I'll kind of keep you updated on that. I will probably also write some posts about going through that, about setting up the registered investment advisory firm. They will be on a separate part of the site. Really, it's mostly because I'm doing it. And at this point, I kind of believe whatever I'm doing, I might as well record the work, right? I might as well make a record of it, show what I've done, put it out there. It can't hurt. But it's not really in the mainstream of personal finance specifically. So really it would be more for people who are considering a career change or starting their own registered investment advisor, and they're kind of curious, what are all the steps? What do they have to go through? How difficult is it? That would be what it's for. And I'll probably do some videos too, but again, it'll be on a separate channel. It'll all be kind of segregated from the rest of Martin Money. So that's really it for August. Not a whole lot to report. Again, we're grateful for your interest. We still get lots of comments from people, compliments, encouraging words. Those are all welcome. All of you who are liking, subscribing, sharing, all those sorts of things, that means a lot to us. It really does. If you got any thoughts, feel free to send them to us. You can go to our website. There is a contact us section of the site that'll actually come to us in the form of an email. If you have a message, any encouragement, any constructive criticism, whatever, we're open to all that. So we'd love to hear from you. As always, we're grateful for you, and that's really it. God bless. Take care.